What up, fam? I'm gonna get into some deep philosophical shit, so if you're used to the happy go lucky, fucking fun shit, just go ahead and stop the video now. Don't even watch it. So, um, now for those of you stuck around, a lot of people noticed today that I was wearing my strange music charm, and that's because it's Desi's. You know, now sometimes I just gotta have her close to me. Um, I've really come to the conclusion that my job in life is to take someone out of a bad situation, show them that they can be unconditionally loved, treated well, and made to feel like they are important and special, and that they're worth so much more than they believe they are. And then they go off to find something better, I guess. Three or four people right now I know that they have some of the most wonderful, beautiful, amazing women in their life, and they want to play fucking games and not treat them badly or anything, because that's not what it is, but not make that person their world. And that's what love is supposed to be, is making that person your world, you know? I always tell people the way you define love is, if you really truly want to know if you're in love with somebody, take 5 minutes out of your day to imagine them not being there in 10 years, or 5 years, or even a year down the road. And if you cannot fathom that situation, then that's really true love. So many people nowadays, they don't understand what kind of unconditional love is. They say that they love someone unconditionally, but they don't realize that even the smallest of demands, requests, accusations, just anything, those are conditions, and that unfortunately negates the unconditional part of that statement. I was lucky enough that I grew up and learned from my mother about loving with no conditions. Not to a point where you keep allowing yourself to be hurt emotionally. Not to a point where you're completely being used up. And those things do happen, but it doesn't mean you don't love someone. And I think my immediate family as a whole, I think that's something that's very special about us, is that even if we don't, we've been known to hold grudges, but even if we don't forgive, we still love. And I just really come to the conclusion that a lot of people in my life, that's just what I'm here for, is to show them that is possible for them, and to have them move on. Perfect example is, someone who I won't name, but people who know me know the situation, and that person left, and we stayed friends, and we just as close as just friends as we were when we were together. And then overnight, shit just fucking flipped and completely changed. And now I don't even. I, I barely think about that person anymore. And that hurts because I love them. But they completely moved on with their life. And somewhere along the way decided that my friendship wasn't worth their time. I don't know. I think there's mitigating factors. I think, Mr. New Guy, isn't comfortable with Mr. Old Guy being in the picture at all. And I can't say that for sure because I don't know. But the one thing that I've always been able to do in a relationship is, even if it ends, I'm able to maintain that bond, that friendship, and unfortunately, that also means that they take my heart with them. But that's unconditional love, you know. My heart breaks over and over and over again, and it doesn't matter because the next day, I love them just the same. I may be angry, I may be furious, I may feel like I should hate them, but hate isn't something that I'm capable of. So it doesn't, it never gets to that point. And maybe I'm rambling. I don't know. Maybe I'm rambling, but that's a big part of being a juggalo too, is that unconditional love for each other. And it's just like, and I'm gonna say it out in the open, with Blue, he seems to think that people turn their backs on him, and that things that I've said were vicious or mean or anything like that. But truth be told, to me he's family, and I love him, and I just want things to be better for him. And if that means we can't be associated with each other, then so be it. As long as you can go on and improve yourself, I'm all for it. And yeah, that isn't about what I originally said with bringing people in my life, fixing them, and sending them on the way. Blue has nothing to do with that, but I just wanted to kind of put that in there too, because that's unconditional love. I don't feel any less family to Blue than I did before. I think the only thing there that upset me was that the only thing that was focused on was the negative. He didn't take the time to point out that there were all kinds of people that were positive about what he said. And that's just like my last video. It wasn't intended to be directed towards him, but it all came to a head, and unfortunately, yeah, it could be construed as something that had to do with him as well. Doesn't mean that I don't love the guy. He's, I'll always consider him a homie, even if he doesn't consider me the other way around. And that's what's different, is that I can do that. I have that capability of forgiving and moving on, and still allowing someone to hold a piece of my friendship, of my heart, of my life, and take that with them. And maybe that's not so much online as it is in my real life, but I know that I've at the very least helped people in this persona of the Big Irish Juggalo, and I thank God for that every day, that I have that capability of doing so. But Patrick is in here too, or PJ, or however you know me. And that it's the same person, but I got problems just like everybody else, So, I don't know. I've rambled on long enough. I don't know where I am right now in my head. I just know that I feel pretty lost. You know, part of it get by me. Um, you know, what can I say? It's just the way it is. But thank you all for always listening to what I have to say, and love it or hate it, and taking the time to hear it, because it's what I love to do. Peace. That's family love.